Previously on D&D Kinda.
As our party circles around this book being held by Topher, a great sense of dread overtakes them all. Something evil is here. Topher stares intently at the pages on the book. Something has awoken in him. As the blood soaks through the pages, the words turn red and then orange, and they begin to glow from the page. And it is in that moment time stands still. Standing in front of them, a shadowy creature. Perfectly still it stood, with bleeding red eyes of fire and lava that drip and disappear as if ethereal in nature. It gazes directly into Topher's eyes and mutters with a grisly smile.
I found you. For years I've watched through your eyes, dormant, but no more. And now I, like the phoenixes of old, will rise from fire and ash, and we shall once again see the glory of my reign.
The creature smiles, and Topher looks down just in time to see Bartholomew's halberd dance through the air and plunge through his armor and into his chest. Topher falls to the ground as he hears the laughter of the creature fade. Topher is dead. Clouds gather in the sky across the land, growing darker, angrier, louder. And from the sky, the clouds glow with an ominous red as they open. A bolt of lightning, wreathed in flames, strikes in the center of the forest, spewing lava and molten rock across the land for miles in all direction. And all at once, everything stops and settles with a voice on the wind.
At last, I am free.
Bartholomew, Benedict, and Hamilton, you're all standing just around this body. And it's lifeless. And Chrysalix rushes up and just gets on the floor, and he's like trying to find like a place to like maybe try to breathe life back into Topher or try to help resuscitate him or something. But Topher's body has just been destroyed. Like, his bones are broke, his throat is slit, he's just got cuts all over him. Like, it's beyond repair, and there's just like this sense of despair just rushes over Chrysalix as like his head just kind of hangs over Topher. And the three of you are in this room. I don't want to tell you guys how to feel, but the vibe in the room is very, both sinister and very solemn.
I have a very important question right off the bat.
What's up?
Where's my sun sword?
Oh, so your guys' weapons that were taken are just like scattered around the room now.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah.
I like to tell you your first question. After I die is, where's my sword?
Well, actually, I'm Bartholomew right now is kind of the same mindset.
Yeah.
Like, it might have been joking that he was looking for his sword, but that is what we have as individuals in this universe has clung to for our personal defense at all times. So knowing that we're able to defend ourselves is most of what instinctually guides us. So Bartholomew also is looking for his weapon and wants to go get it.
Okay.
Hamilton is just painfully erect and very confused.
Bartholomew sees and acknowledges this confusion.
Just the confusion, though, right? Just to be clear, you see and acknowledge the confusion.
He acknowledges that there's some issue there, and then just gives him a nod
and a wink, and a little like under the like.
Weird. Bartholomew gave a nod. That's different.
All right, so
you said Chrysalix is still in here with the...
Yes. Why are you looking at me like this? Murder! All aboard the murder train.
Where is my crossbow?
I mean, probably just on your person. You didn't really lose any of your weapons. So.
Okay. Just checking.
Because they're not cool.
Just checking. No particular
Kidding
reason.
me? He has the golden Blumpkin staff.
Whoa.
Just wanted to make sure.
So, nothing has changed. He's sitting here. Chrysalix is pretty wrought in despair. What do you guys do? So you guys know how to leave here. Everyone was forced out because of what was happening, and it's just Chrysalix here with you guys. What do you guys do? I don't want to, like, there's nothing that's going to happen that's going to influence any direction here. I need you guys to, I'm going to rely on you guys to take control of the situation.
So Chrysalix is on the ground next to Topher's body, right?
Yes.
All right. And you said I have my crossbow.
It is on your person, yes.
Cool. How far away from him am I?
Probably, like, right next to him, if not, like, able to touch him.
Okay. So I want to walk up next to him, point my crossbow at his head. I was going to wait until later, but I think you better start talking now.
Bartholomew kind of he just picked up his halberd from the ground and walks over kind of behind Topher, or behind Hamilton as he's doing this to Chrysalix, and Topher kind of poked his halberd up above his head.
You just called yourself Topher.
Did I? Bartholomew
idiot.
puts his halberd up behind his head just to kind of be like ready, but is also kind of being slumping casual and just walks up and approaches the situation, kind of like advocating for what Hamilton is currently doing. Like he's not stopping it. So he's just kind of walking up and just kind of at the ready.
Then Benedict picks up his sunblade, and then also, where's the book?
The book is gone.
All right. Then I'd go stand next to them then.
Okay. So Chrysalix he just kind of looks up and just kind of stares the crossbow in the face, and he just kind of, holds his arms out and says, What have I not told you? What do you want to know?
Hamilton's going to play the silent game. Hamilton watches a lot of crime videos on YouTube. And he knows that by not saying anything to the interrogatee, that they're more likely to talk on their own and divulge information.
Hamilton, by the number of wounds and bandages I have, it's no secret that you harbor ill will towards me, but even with all the pain you have caused me, I have not acted out at all against you. And he goes to, like, push his hands off the ground, like to go to stand up. And does anyone react to that?
Yes, I draw my sunblade and put it at his throat and tell him to stay where he's at. Stay where you're at.
Okay, so he just kind of hunkers back down and says, "You're talking to me like I'm keeping secrets from you. Every time that we've met, I have divulged all the information that I had. And the only time I kept information from you was to make sure Topher stayed safe. And this exact situation is what I feared would happen. We all knew there was something going on with Topher."
Yeah, but you knew more.
I knew more, but I don't know more now.
What you know now could help us find out what exactly happened here.
I know what you know. I just said that. I'm not hiding anything from you all.
Bartholomew kind of takes his halberd and puts it out, takes it off of his back and kind of holds it with both hands in front of him. And then just like picks up one end and slaps it down into his hand. And then kind of turns around and begins walking. And as he starts walking away, casually, also theatrically, he says, "Hamilton, when you first met Chrysalix, he was placed before you, and then a war started. I think there's a good reason that we might distrust him. Wouldn't you agree?"
And do you comment on that or anything?
No, I don't really respond to Bartholomew's comment. I know what he's talking about. And I would assume Benedict probably does too. But Hamilton, at least, I tend to believe Chrysalix that he has at least told me everything that he knows. Not necessarily because I can't remember right now if that information was relayed to the other members of the party or not. I don't think I had said anything.
Mm-mm.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, okay. You are right. I don't have a particular love for you, but I do believe you when you say that you've told me everything that you know. What I want from you now are ideas. Where do we go from here?
You're too lazy to come up with your own directions, so you gotta literally torture an NPC into giving you what the next steps
Well,
are.
no, because here's the thing, right? So, yeah, sure, he has told us everything that he knows, but it's not like he's told us all of the intricate details of us. He knows Topher's backstory better than anybody else here. So, if anybody's going to know where we could go to maybe try and figure out what the fuck just happened, it's going to be Chrysalix.
See, I was kind of banking on the book.
Because I'm not,
disappeared.
Hamilton, Benedict, and Bartholomew, we've only known Topher, in-game for days, weeks.
Weeks at this point.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like we've known him a long time. Whereas Chrysalix has known him for decades? Potentially longer? We don't know. So
There's definitely more to glean
if
there.
anybody is going to be able to point us in a direction, because if we do it, we're just going to be throwing a dick at a fucking dartboard and hoping that we land on the right spot.
You ain't throwing my dick at a dartboard.
Well, no, somebody's going to throw me, dick first, at a dartboard.
Well, why don't we call your crossbow arrows dicks and shove them at the dartboard and call it Topher's dick?
That sentence.
I would literally shoot your fucking crossbow right between his legs and get him to be more detailed.
Well, but that's what I was basically just saying.
Mm-hmm. You're right.
Where do we go?
You're doing good.
What? Give us an idea. Point us in a direction, and kind of like the inclination being like, your ass is gonna fucking lead us, and if this shit doesn't work out, like it ain't gonna be good for you.
And you're not going to work out.
Yeah, that kind of thing. Like, hey, I know people. Gabagool.
You'll be sleeping with the fishes.
Giovanni.
So, Chrysalix kind of he hears what you say, and then he kind of looks up at Benedict, and then he kind of goes to stand up again and sees if he can get off the ground.
I put my
ahead and holster
crossbow.
my blade,
I put my crossbow away.
Okay, so he stands up and brushes off his knees and his shoulders and looks around at the situation, and the only direction I can provide you is what we've learned a short while ago. When I grew up at the church, that was where the physical seal was located, and now we know where the physical seal rests. And we know at one point it lay far away in the mountains to the north. What we don't know is how it came from there to here. But again, does that matter? If we're so close, are you trying to seek direction on what happened with Topher, or are you trying to seek direction with where to go next with the guild? Because I would invite us to find the other members and discuss with Lokar and Francis and Weisswein. They're just as much a part of this as I am. I know parts of Topher's past where he was at the church and what happened there, but that's why I came back to Topher. I felt bad. You know this. We talked about this. I felt bad for not living up to my promises with Phileas and watching Topher. So, I don't know what happened to him. I can't help you. I'm more than happy to help you to find direction here, but I can't provide it. But if we're seeking direction on where to go with the seals and how we can continue in that direction, despite what just happened to Topher, I don't understand what just happened. I know that there's been something plaguing him and ailing him, but if I'd been watching him all these years, I might know. But all the times I checked up on him, he seemed himself, and he didn't know I was there. So, yes, I've known Topher the longest. Yes, I know the most about him, but probably no more than you do at this point.
Did you see what happened to that book?
What book?
The book that Topher had in his hands.
Is it... I don't know. I didn't see any book.
So are you fucking with me, or was there really not a book? Because there definitely was
No,
a book.
there's definitely a book. Chrysalix just didn't see it.
Okay.
He didn't know it was there before. You guys were probably more in tune to what was happening with Topher than Chrysalix was.
He's always...
And this book was the same book that Topher found when he was like underground and found this thing, and he picked it up and certain things made him bleed.
Yeah.
Okay. Just want to make sure I knew what it was.
Yeah.
Yep.
And there's names in it. Mm-hmm. It's crossed out. I don't think he's ever let us see the book, so we wouldn't know, but...
Yeah, he kept that kind of hidden from us.
But we did see him open a book, and then we did see that thing come out of him. Like, when that actually happened.
Yeah.
So, and then the book just disappearing is also kind of concerning. I would like to know what's in that fucking book. And that could get a grasp on, like, what the fuck is going on with Topher, which could be, like, for all we know, it could be connected to the ball. Like,
I don't deny that there's likely some type of connection between what's going on with Topher and the seals and Ball.
So Bartholomew is still like kind of walking away with his halberd in his hand, in both hands technically. And he holds it out with one hand and kind of points it at Chrysalix and says, "What just happened to Topher?"
Make an intimidation check for me.
I can tell you right now. Seals be damned. If Hamilton has to fucking walk around for the rest of his life, I will bring about the end of this world.
17 on the intimidation.
Okay. So Chrysalix kind of looks at you and puts like both of his hands up and he says, "Bartholomew, Topher has been battling something that happened to him outside of my purview. I was not there when it took place."
And then right about there, Bartholomew shakes his halberd and pushes it closer toward Christopher. Chrysalix. He pushes it closer toward Chrysalix and says, "What do you think happened to Topher?"
While this is happening, by the way, I'm just going to sneak over to Topher's body.
In all of my years walking this good earth, this type of behavior is only seen it very minimal times, and it's some sort of possession, but I've never seen anyone have total control until a given point. It was almost as if something took place that unlocked this thing. And if there was a book of some sort, have you guys seen Topher reading this book? Do you know what was in it at all?
I've never read the book myself, but I have seen him with the book.
Perhaps there are answers there. I don't know, Bartholomew. I want to give you the answers. Topher was my friend long before he was yours. Why would I want to see the end come to him?
Bartholomew kind of takes his halberd at a position he's pointing it at Chrysalix and is just like disappointed with not having closure as to what just happened to his friend. And he swings his halberd out of the way and then storms off into a direction and he says, "But now he's gone!" and slams the ground with his halberd in like a fit of rage. Like he's pissed off about what's happened and about the sequence of events, and he doesn't understand, and his vent to get out of that is just to show his anger.
And when that happens, you hear a small voice come from behind you all that says,
"What happened here?"
And Francis rushes back into the room. And then Chrysalix stands up and kind of motions towards Topher's body and kind of looks down at the floor and like with just a look of just despair and disappointment, as just the whole tone of the room is definitely just in the dumps at this point. And she kind of walks over and says,
"Oh no."
And then she looks back at the doorway and says,
"Everyone come quick." Now, we need you. Come fast.
And she takes off, just sprinting out, back out of the actual exit of this, out towards the exit of like the plane of existence that we're in.
So Bartholomew reacts with urgency, but he runs over to Topher's body and he picks up Topher's shield that has the insignia of Mishkal on it.
Okay.
And then he runs with Karen.
Okay, before I want to get back to what you were doing, Topher. So I want to say, like, as she's
Hamilton.
Sorry, yeah. I don't know why everyone's
Topher's friend
Topher's
Hamilton.
dead. Sorry,
Everyone
you're
is
dead to me,
Topher.
so I just assumed that you were Topher. I'm going to come back to you, Hamilton, as to what you were doing. I would say I want to kind of rewind for you because I want to see what you were doing, like, as she's, like, running into the room. What's Hamilton doing?
Yeah, so Hamilton's got all these newfangled powers, right? And, like, doesn't really know the extent of those powers and exactly what all that kind of means. So I have that whole telepathic thing going on, right?
Yeah.
So I kind of just want to, like, I don't know, like, put a hand on old Topher's forehead and just kind of, like, put my feelies out to my patron and just maybe try to see if I can...
You guys want to rub tentacles a little bit?
Yeah, maybe, like, maybe try to get a sense for if Topher's soul is out there somewhere. Maybe, you know, not necessarily where, but just, like, is it gone? Is it in another, like, plane?
Make an Arcana check for me.
Well, either way, it's a 12.
Okay, so I'll say this with a 12. Hamilton, kind of describe how you do this, and then I'll kind of give you what.
So I talk to Topher a lot telepathically. So I'm very familiar with, like, I guess you could say, like, the fingerprint of his mind. Like, what his psyche and thoughts feel like. So kind of just like, like a metaphorical bloodhound, you know, just like putting the scent out there and being like, hey, do you see any evidence of this? That kind of thing.
So whenever you do this, I'd say with a 12, what you'd be able to surmise would be you get the feeling of, I guess the best way to describe it would be like a yin and a yang kind of deal, but it's empty and split. And so you can feel like there were two things trapped here, but they both have broken free of that. But you can tell, just like the scent of what you could feel out here, is that they went in two totally different opposite directions.
Okay. But they're not, like, wiped out.
I don't think you'd be able to tell that with a 12.
Would I be able to maybe glean any kind of information about what happened?
You were in Topher's head before that took place.
I'm almost always in Topher's head. I mean, the two things that I'm pretty much trying to figure out. The first was, can I get any kind of sense? And so to better explain the first goal wasn't to, like, read anything, get anything, any kind of information from Topher's head. It was more of a, like, I'm channeling his, like, whatever essence that that is still remaining in his body, if there is any, to my patron, because he probably has, you know, far-reaching sight compared to what we would have on the mortal plane, to try to see if there's any like evidence of Topher's existence, soul, being, whatever, in the universe. Not necessarily where, but more of, like, just trying to understand if I could get any type of an inclination that he has not been, like, completely wiped out. Kind of like with Lokar, how, like, Lokar existed in his own plane, and, you know, you couldn't really kill him unless you fought him there.
Right.
Like that kind of a thing. You know, he can be in, like, multiple dimensions at once. The second thing would be whether that fails or succeeds, which it failed, would be to try to see if there was anything left, any imprints that were left in Topher's body and mind that might give me some kind of an idea of what happened to him, like what just went on, and if there's any like remnants of thoughts in his head that might point towards something that we could go after.
Make an insight check for me, but with disadvantage.
Ooh, insight is not good for me. Fuck. Well, the first one was good. +3. So 8.
So with an 8, I would be able to tell you that with everything that you saw and with what you can glean from your, I guess, the spiritual searching of Topher's corpse with Cthulhu's help, I would say that you just hear like a subtle whisper that you know to be like the guidance of Cthulhu, because you're starting to become more connected to it, just tell you to keep searching.
All right, so Hamilton...
and you don't take it in a way that says try again. You take it in a way that says it's worth your time to continue to pursue this.
Yeah. Hamilton takes Topher's backpack and follows.
He just gets in it and like sock hops all the way to the door.
Like a potato sack race.
So you take his backpack and you all run after Francis?
Yep.
Oh, wait. Doesn't Topher have some kind of like fancy pendant or ring or something? He's got his like Mishkal symbol, right?
So his holy symbol is on his shield, which Bartholomew already took.
You have something else though, don't you?
I have a ring.
Yeah, I'll take that.
It's the Hail Ring of Hydra.
I'll take that too.
That's literally what Michael called it. So.
I forgot about that.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
So you want to pull his ring off his dead, lifeless finger
Yeah.
with complete and utter disrespect for his body?
We both walk over and steal his shit. Like we were hoping he died the entire time just so we could use his stuff because it looks cool.
I get the sense that his body might not like be necessary for him. If you know what I mean?
No.
Like, I don't know. Hamilton.
Usually dead people don't need their body. You're not.
Hamilton is pretty sure. He's pretty convinced that he's gonna do something about this.
Okay.
And so he's just holding on to Topher's things for him, pretty much.
That was really kind of you. What a good friend.
And if he doesn't come back, they're mine now.
And just to confirm, you had an erection because of the dead body, right?
Yeah, but I was confused about it.
Why? I mean, this has been a pretty canon thing that
But
you just
you knew
love death.
why you had the boner.
I mean, I wasn't confused about why it was there. I just had very confused feelings
Okay.
about the boner.
Yeah, you were like, it's my friend, but it's also a body, you know?
So therefore, it's hot.
So you take Topher's ring and you guys all just head towards the door. And as you head down the hallway, you see Francis kind of just bounce up the stairs and into that bedroom in her house. And then
Why doesn't she walk?
Huh?
Why doesn't she walk?
Because she's small. Just a like full body hop up each stair. So when you guys come up out of this, I don't want to call it a basement because it's not, but you guys come up out of the floor.
The basement.
And you come to shut the fuck up.
Basement floor.
Francis like slaps you down the stairs.
Come up out of the basement floor. Mom!
So when you come up out of the floor, you guys get to the ground level and immediately you realize that something is happening. The ground is like shaking and there is just something going on. So you guys all get to the top and Francis throws the rug back over the floor and she takes off running out of the room into the hallway and then down the hallway. What do you guys do?
I ready my staff and I follow.
Yeah,
I also get out my Blunkman staff.
I ready my halberd. and follow.
Pulls your dick out. You ready your staff?
God damn it. Yeah, I do the same thing. I'm following.
So you all brandish your weapons, run out of the room, and follow Frances down the hallway and into the kitchen, in which she flings open the door to the outside. And Chrysalix is running behind you guys as well. And
Is he running?
I mean, he's like jogging a little bit, but he's kind of got some hurt legs. So
Yeah.
He's got some hurt legs.
It's a yog.
He's hobbled a little bit.
now, just to recollect a little bit, you guys recall that maybe a day or so ago, you guys were just in the Nobleman's Keep, and Benedict, you flew over and dropped the body of the nobleman directly into the courtyard.
I did do that.
You all caused hysteria and disbelief across the rightfully so. I mean, you weren't lying about what happened with the nobleman, and then you dropped his body and you guys all just dipped. So you guys haven't dealt with the ramifications of what took place.
Well, what do you know? If it isn't the consequence of my own actions.
So I just want you to bear that in mind as we're moving through this next portion here.
Oh,
because Neverwinter, it's I would say it's been, I don't want to say it's been a day, but it's probably been at least a day.
Yeah.
I don't know, somewhere in that. Like,
so you do want to say that it's been?
Yeah, I didn't want to, but I guess I'm just gonna do it. It's been a fucking day since the events of where you found pudding. So just keep that in mind as we go through this. So when you guys run outside, you guys just hear, I mean, so Francis' house, I've explained this before, is like at the edge of the city, but it's up on like this grassy plateau. But you guys can kind of see down into the city, into the business district, and it is, you can see in the distance, you can see the Nobleman's Keep. But then you guys, like you said, whenever you blew the hole in the side of that building, that was like a business type district, like where there's shops and
damn, they have
traders.
a glory hole in a business district?
It's a big ass glory hole. It's like a giant glory hole.
It's Ball's glory hole.
It's Ball's glory hole.
So just keep that in mind. So when you guys come out of here, you see everyone that was in the Chamber of the Seals just standing out in that grassy area overlooking all of Neverwinter. And what you guys see is there are just buildings that are on fire. There are people yelling and screaming. There are it's just chaos. There's just disarray all over the place. So what do you guys do?
Oh.
Is watching an option?
I mean, yeah, if you guys want to just join everyone and what's going on.
Pull up a chair and just observe?
Okay, so you guys all just kind of come out and stand in line with everyone else?
I guess, but I would want, if Frances is still with us, right?
Yeah, she's out there with you guys.
Yeah. So, like, what the fuck is going on?
What is it that we are here for? Like, we both kind of inquire together.
So, everyone make a perception check for me.
That's a nat 20.
Crit fail.
Oh. Well, that is two just polar opposite spectrum there.
I got a 6.
So you just see dirt. You're eating dirt. And
I see everything.
His third eye fucking opens, and there's like some Illuminati symbol that like shoots out of his head. So I would say the only person so Francis kind of, you guys walk up and you guys are overlooking the city, and you guys just kind of see generally what I've already described, except for you, Benedict.
What do I see?
Off in the distance, you see a plume, dark clouds just beginning to circle the Nobleman's Keep.
Oh, shit.
And it's building quicker than clouds normally do.
Okay, yeah, that's a red flag.
So,
It's actually a black cloud.
Oh. Fuck. Well, I mean, I'd like to point that out to my friends here.
Go ahead, man.
Wait. Look, the Nobleman's Keep.
I squint really hard and say something weird about palm trees.
Dirt falls out of his mouth.
Oh no, you hate it.
Whatever you do, Bartholomew, don't eat that dirt.
So you guys want to do something like kind of stupid?
Why do you even
This
need to
is
ask
the type
that?
of questions that I like to hear.
even need to ask
Honestly,
that?
I want to
this
turn.
gives me things I can work with.
Why
I
do
like
you
this.
even need to ask that?
Sign me up?
I
What
kind of
the
want to.
fuck?
Did you ask that to me in character voice, or was that just like to us?
Yeah, I kind of do. Yeah, in character voice and to you, I guess.
Okay.
But I wonder if I can turn into something big enough to like fly us directly up there.
You can turn into a Quetzalcoatlus.
The fuck is that?
Like the giant fucking pterodactyl, essentially.
That's sick. Well, yeah, I want to get one of those, and I want you
That's
guys to. I want to carry Francis as well.
So why don't you character voice it?
You boys want to do something stupid?
Yes.
True.
Fuck yeah! All right. I am going to turn into a pterodactyl, and then you will ride me up to the clouds.
I will climb you like a tree.
My God.
Francis,
Yes.
you're coming with us.
Where are we going?
I said, bitch, look at the nobleman's keep.
Why would we go there? We have no idea what's happening there.
Well, how are we going to find out?
Good point. Let's go.
All right. All right, so I turn into
I rolled an 8 and she has a -1 on the stat I was testing, so oof.
Yep, I turn into a pterodactyl. It's fucking...
I want to see like what Benedict does whenever he transforms, because you never wild shape. So this is an interesting phenomena for everyone. So I want to hear about this.
So Benedict fucking rips his shirt off. Actually, no. You know what happens? He's got the special tunic that expands with him. It's like, yeah, it's like stretchy clothes. They call it the next level tunic. Yeah. So yeah, spandex.
It's like stretchy clothes.
Shut up.
Yes. Yes. It is. So yeah, they just grow. I'm a pterodactyl with clothes on right now.
You didn't
I'm
give
a
me like
pterodactyl
anything when I wanted.
clothes
You were
on
just
now.
like, by the way, my clothes grew with me.
Oh yeah.
Only thing that you said.
All right, walk me through
I'm
what
all fucked
happened.
up.
I'm in spandex.
It's spandex, so it's really any more you need to know.
God damn, dude, you're about as creative as a fucking vanilla scented candle.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, at least that's capable of being.
I don't know.
an
You ever read
aphrodisiac.
fucking Animorphs? Like
You are the
Can you
you are
describe
the
that to me?
embodiment of a white
No.
girl's Instagram.
Can you do something cool? Is what I'm asking.
I'm turning into a pterodactyl. You want me to talk about
Why
it?
don't you like run and jump off the plateau and like transform mid-air and be like, "Ah!"
Listen, man. I want to fucking be a pterodactyl and try.
All right, Benedict farts, turns into a pterodactyl.
Poof. There it is.
Shit, I'm in spandex. It doesn't exist. In
You
this
want me
day
to
and
like
age.
tell you like my fingers are turning into fucking veins and it turns into wings?
No, I just
I'm fu-
figured since you're just such a showman with swords, you would try to find something cool to at least like say that you were doing and like some showy shit, and you're just like,
Oh, I don't know.
and then just you just strain and you're like, ah.
I like that though. That's funny.
Okay, well, you just go and then just poof, like turn into a pterodactyl.
It can be different every time.
It's
too.
a
It doesn't-
Quetzalcoatlus, so it's a massive pterodactyl,
Yeah,
and
that's
so
great.
honestly, it's freaking everyone out because no one's ever really seen you shapeshift before. But I did mention that the old guy that you kind of learned from was there, so that didn't really bother him, and he was actually kind of proud. He kind of walks up and he grabs your wing and he's like, "This is badass." So I guess so. Bartholomew, do you climb on top of him?
Yeah, I get right up on that shit.
Nice.
Okay. Hamilton.
Hamilton climbs into the spandex on the front of his his body. So I'm like hanging down below him like a missile on a fighter jet.
With just your head sticking out?
Yeah. Yeah, me and Puddin. Just my head sticking out and then Puddin's head sticking out right now.
I think Frances wants to join you there. Like
That's fair.
She wants to climb in there with you.
That's cool. Me
That's
and
a
Mom.
spot for Hamilton.
She's not your mom.
Bay. That's Mom.
Okay, she's mom now.
That's the mom.
The mom.
She's the mom of the group.
Okay, so everyone kind of, I guess, in layman's terms, saddles up.
Saddled up.
Make a strength check for me, Josh.
We'll take that. 16.
So you got an 18 then? Yep. All right. So with an 18, you take off and everything's fine. You're carrying everyone. These things are huge, and you've got pretty good dexterity. You have shit intelligence and 0 wisdom and no charisma. This is all. Are you a Quetzalcoatlus, Josh?
Sounds about right.
So you guys take off and you begin flying towards the keep. And is there anything any of you are on the lookout for, or specifically trying to see? Are you guys looking around, or are you just going to head straight to the keep?
Bartholomew looks up at Hottenau Mountain.
Okay. Make a perception check for me.
It's a 9.
Okay, so you see the mountain in the distance. You don't see anything out of the ordinary. Seems like it was much when you guys left it.
And in the sky in general, there's no like meteors falling or anything like that.
No, not at the moment. It is dark and cloudy, but not like it was when you broke the seal the first time, where there was meteors falling and crazy stuff.
As
the ground
Bartholomew
shaking and
is on the back of this, what did you say it was? A Quetzalcoatl?
it's a Quetzalcoatlus.
Quetzalcoatlus.
It's a giant pterodactyl, is what it is.
Well, he's on the back of this thing, and the wind is rushing by Bartholomew's scales, and he wants to kind of flex his back again and see if he feels any lift, to see if his like if it's going to happen again. He's still thinking about that in his mind, that he might have wings himself. But the moment passes and no wings come out of Bartholomew's back.
Okay. So, anyone else? Anything else anyone's trying to tune in on or anything?
Just trying to tune in on what the black clouds are, like if I can see anything at all, like in regard, like before we get up there, as to what we're like flying into, to like have some kind of idea.
Okay. So, do you want to fly into the clouds, or you want to start to circle the clouds, or do you want to kind of go down to the keep, or what do you want to do? Because you are nearing it. As the crow flies, it's not that far, of a fly.
Yeah.
What about as the pterodactyl flies?
Yeah, what about a Quetzalcoatl?
Yeah.
As the flying creature flies, it is not
As the flying
just a few minute flight, essentially, over the city. And as you're nearing it, I'm just trying to gauge where you want to head.
Yeah, and as we're above the city, do we see, is there any predominant features about the surface that might indicate trends about what the current setting is, like what people are doing, or if there's like a mass congregation at a certain building, you might notice a crowd of people, or does it look like things are going on? Are there places on fire? What level of mayhem is there?
I would say with that, make a investigation check as you're kind of surveying the land right ahead.
Yeah, it's a 5.
Okay. So with a 5, I would say that you can see there's hustle and bustle, but you don't have a really good view. You can't make anything out that's really telling as to what's going on.
Ground real far.
Around real far. I really wish that these rolls weren't so shitty.
My
really
rolls have been ass.
Are you using the right dice? And I'm not trying to be a dick.
I'm honestly using an electric dice thing here.
Oh, okay. All right. So with that in mind, so Bartholomew's trying to gauge the lay of the land and see what's happening. He's not getting much from that height. Where exactly are you headed, Benedict?
I'm headed to the the point of where the clouds are meeting, when they're circling, is it right above the keep?
Yes.
Okay, so there's obviously something in the keep that's fucky. So we're going in the front door.
Something fucky is afoot.
Yes. That's where I'm looking.
Okay. So you want to fly down to the ground and walk in the front door.
Yeah, I thought it was up, but that's why I was gonna fly.
Well, no, the keep isn't off the ground. The keep's still level. It's just there's clouds above it, and I didn't know whether you were trying to like head down where you are headed. I need to know like where exactly.
He was saying he was gonna like fly into the top of the keep.
Oh, I mean the keep isn't open on top, but you could land on top of it if you'd like.
Is there like a porch, or are there levels to it? Like,
so there are levels, but it's like one building.
Do they have a helicopter pad?
Yeah, dude.
Do they have a
giant
Quetzal,
helipad?
do they have a Quetzalcoatl pad on top of the
I hate
keep?
you so much.
there should be.
It actually says QP right on top.
Yeah.
Big box around it.
Well, I mean, where was the seal? Like, I want to get to
In the basement.
Okay, then we're going to the front door then. Yeah.
Okay, so you land in the courtyard in front of the...
Yeah, in front of the keep.
Okay, so you land, and all of you kind of climb out of the Quetzalcoatl spandex and start to walk around. And this is the first time you've been back here with Francis. And everyone make a history check.
Is this relating to magical items?
No.
I got a 7.
I got a 14.
23.
Okay. So I would say that the only person that would recall this would be Hamilton then. Whenever you all land here and climb out, Hamilton, you specifically recall that this here is where Francis said we can't discuss what we need to discuss. We are on unholy ground. And that's why you guys met at the Brandy's Main as opposed to here. So for some reason in your head, that clicked with you whenever you landed here. So you guys get off of the Quetzalcoatl. Do you transform back, or I'm assuming?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and transform.
Okay, so you and then go and then transform back. What do you guys do?
So Bartholomew gets off the Quetzalcoatl, and as he starts to walk, he just thinks to himself about something that he read in the scrolls. 13 palm trees can be found on Thursday.
Wise words, Brother Bartholomew.
Okay, so
Let's go to the basement.
So I'll give you guys kind of lay of the land. So as you guys land here, there's the stairs that kind of lead up to the flat kind of like walkway, and there's the doors there, and then there's the windows, and it's a couple stories tall. And as we've been back here many times, so what happens is when you get off of this thing, these clouds begin to spin faster and faster, and you guys know something is about to happen. So something, I mean, there's like a buildup. The winds are spinning up, and it's just much faster than normal weather ever tends to circulate. Yeah. So what do?
Bartholomew casts Thunderous Smite on his halberd.
Okay.
Thunderous Smite.
So you guys just gonna run up to the door? Or?
Yeah, I got my weapon drawn.
Okay.
Hamilton, can I do a quick little Arcana check here?
Yeah. What are you trying to surmise?
Just trying to like get a feel for the magics in the air.
Okay.
You know, just very general, like what is the level of magic here?
Okay, yeah. I'll allow it.
Oh man, almost. That's a 25.
Okay, so here's what I'll do then. So was your intention to run into the keep as well?
Yeah, I suppose so, yes.
Okay. So Benedict obviously is like leading this charge, and Frances, you could tell she has like this innate like protective like feeling.
Mom sense.
Yeah, over top of Benedict, so she kind of runs in after him, and then you are on your way up, and as they're doing that, you take like your first step forward, and this overwhelming sense of just absolute danger surrounds you. And as you just kind of like reach out and get like the feeling of like the magic's here, it is dark, it is sinister, and there's something that's saying you need to stay away.
Oh fuck yeah, let's go in there.
So, is that what you want to do?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so you don't.
Do you do anything as a response to getting that sensation?
He's
No,
like,
I'm
you
not
can't
gonna-
tell me or anything.
I'm not going to tell you guys.
No, but your disposition doesn't change at all. You need to roll for like an integrity check or some shit.
What do you mean?
Because I mean, that is, some people, if they would get that sense that something was that sinister and evil afoot, that it would shake them. You know, there would be some physical indicator as to their disposition change.
I worship Cthulhu and get hard around dead bodies.
Well, yeah, we would
Well,
be able to
so
see your boner.
I agree with
Physical
you
evidence.
if it were anyone else, but Jed or Hamilton, I should say, has always been one that is just like, he doesn't want to tell anybody anything.
I actually think, is that part of your character that you withhold secrets, or is
It
that
is.
your
It
brother?
is.
It is. Yeah.
It is.
No, that's
Both of
definitely
you.
him.
It's
No?
part of his character traits, like on paper.
I thought
but
so.
he's always been that way. So,
thought so.
it would be,
I think mine's in my
Is it?
character too. Yeah. Pretty sure.
That sounds accurate.
so. No, that's
I lie about almost everything, even when there's no good reason to.
Well, that's just Jed. That's
I'm convinced that no one could ever fool me the way that I fool others. 'Tis the Hamilton way.
So, as you take off running after them, you obviously just have this as overwhelming, there's something bad here. And as you're running, you run and then you actually pass Frances, which is weird to you because she took off running almost right after Benedict. And Frances just stops, and you guys all three are moving forward, and I need all of you to make a Constitution saving throw.
That was a crit fail.
Oh,
no.
fuck.
Oh no.
Fuck.
13.
It has to be a con. It's always a fucking con save. I don't have any modifiers for that. 13.
Actually, I'm sorry. It would be inappropriate for me to make you guys make a Constitution saving throw without giving you the opportunity to attempt to try to see maybe we can make it a dexterity saving throw as well. Because Constitution saving throw implies that you had no clue. So there could be a chance that you see what's happening, but it might just be difficult to do so. Because Frances obviously sees it, and that's why she stopped. So, all of you first make a perception check and a nature check.
Okay.
Then give me what both of those are.
14 perception. Nature would be under what?
Nature.
A 20 and a 5.
A
So-
15 and a 16.
There's a
15.
nature. 15 and a 14?
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Oh, I'm sorry. My perception check is 8 plus 8. And not plus 5. I thought it was plus 5. I was just
so you
guessing.
had an 18 and a 14?
Yeah.
Okay. So as you guys are running up this staircase, then you guys Frances just stops, and you guys all pass her. So I need Hamilton to make a Constitution saving throw, and I need Bartholomew and Benedict to make a Dexterity saving throw, because what you guys see is a force and blast of light and wind.
It's a 16 for my con save.
15 for my dex save.
That is a 20, not a nat for my dex save.
Okay.
It's a lot of dice out here rolling over there. Oh,
Okay. When you guys are all running up this, Frances comes to a dead stop, and you hear her shout out, and she says,
Wait!
Benedict and Bartholomew, you hear Frances shout, and you turn and look kind of upwards at the same time, but Hamilton, you just keep sprinting up towards the door, and at this moment, there is just a blinding flash of light and an explosion, and there is a beam of fire and just cloud and just what looks like blood and dust just explode from the clouds just into the ground. And then as soon as that happens, there's a pillar of wider fire that shoots up out of the ground, engulfing that other pillar, and just blows the doors off of the keep. And the walls just come tumbling down as brick and fire and just molten rock and everything just shoot out from all directions. So the door just explodes off, and as you guys were standing there, Benedict, you saw what was happening as the door is just rocketing towards you, and you kind of dodge out of the way, but the door itself just like skids across your back, and you take 10 points of fire damage.
Fuck.
Bartholomew, as it passes him, the door drills you and knocks you back onto your back and down the stairs into the dirt, and you take 21 points of damage. Hamilton, Bartholomew, as he is going backwards, you see this, and the other side of the door barrels by you, and it doesn't full on hit you, but the side of it clips you and hits you in the side, and you also take 21 points of damage. So Bartholomew, Hamilton, and Benedict, you were laying in the dirt in front of what's left of this castle, and there is still like these circling clouds, and there's still fire just raining down and actually up from the ground to the clouds and back down, like just inversely. It's just the most strange thing you've ever seen, and it's just molten lava just dripping and rocks falling up and down and fire shooting right and left, all within this strange tornado vortex that's coming up from the ground out of the Nobleman's Keep, or where it once stood. The only thing that's standing is a couple, maybe 5-6 feet of like brick structures that are randomly around, and there's just molten rock and fire just strewn all over around you. As you guys kind of come to your senses, let's say everyone make a perception check for me.
19.
23.
19.
Okay. So all of you actually see, as you guys are like coming to, because you all just got knocked pretty hard, and you see Frances standing there, and she's staring up where the Nobleman's Keep once stood, and you guys look around and you see Lokar, and you see Chrysalix, you see Vicewine, and just a few others that are random ones like Thrak and Scar, all just kind of run into the courtyard around the same time, and they just stop in their tracks. And you guys all look up, and then you see the archway is still there from where the door was standing. And there's just fire and smoke as it's starting to slow down. The dust begins to settle in the area, and you just hear a deep, guttural, sinister laughter. Just emanating from within where the keep was. And you see just a figure begin to walk out of the archway. And whenever they come out, it's someone that just looks remarkably like Topher. But you can tell just the way that he looks, and the way that he's walking, and the way that he's holding himself, that it is not your friend. It is not Topher. And he steps out and he looks over at all of you, and in his hand, he's holding the book that you saw, Benedict. And you guys are all standing there kind of just wondering what to do, and then Lokar steps forward and he says one word.
Velka?